Hey, welcome to our podcast. So excited to be able to be here with Between Sundays, talk to you a little bit about some things that are going on in the life of our church. And today I get the chance to talk to you about a really exciting thing, and that is the fulfillment of a role of discipleship pastor with my good friend here, Joel Ward. So, Joel, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Yeah, I know
Finally.
everybody loves hiding out in the room. They're kind of like, how's this all work? Yeah, so we've been prayer. Let me give you the background information. I know you're familiar with it, but about a couple years ago, Lane talked to me about eventually moving into an unpaid role, which is both exciting and new for him, and exciting and new for our church. I'm thankful that he's stewarded his life in such a way that was able to be a part of the process. But then he also knew that it opened up the opportunity to not only fulfill his responsibilities, both in missions, but also expand some of that. And so in so many ways, it's an answer to prayer. And so I knew that for about 2 years. We were praying, we were meeting and talking about that. And then about October 2024. 2024 of October, we met, crossed paths. You were working with Jacob McMillan, who's wife, Brianna, serves our children's director here. And we were able to have some fruitful discussions in ministry, not about this role, just, how do we better shepherd? And then God was starting to stir your heart for full-time vocational ministry as you were currently bivocational.
Right.
And so, then we kept meeting in through the new year, and somewhere along the way, we started having more formative conversations, what it looked like for full-time vocational ministry, probing your heart about maybe being a part of Rainbow Forest, and then through that, wrapping in Lane in conversation since he knows the job very well, and then other people along the way, and to just kind of bring that full idea to maybe a summary. Coming through for a couple interviews, your wife, with the elders, and talking with some strategic leaders, spending some time with our staff. Right. And so you had a look under the hood, so to speak, of Rainbow Forest, and the Rainbow Forest got a great look at you. And I know we've texted back and forth and talked frequently, multiple times a week, if not a day. So, and so I'm excited to be able to introduce you as the new discipleship pastor. But I thought, for a lot of people, they know you. I know the Spencers and so a few of our other church family know you because you've kind of lived here in the valley and ministered in the valley and made connection with people. And your wife is also serving at the Blue Ridge Women's Center.
That's right.
And so that puts you in proximity with more people. And so, but introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you and your family, and then I'll have some more questions. We'll kind of bounce them out.
So, been married for 22 years to Deanna, and met her 2 weeks after I graduated college. And then about a week after that, we went on our first date, and then a year later we got married on the same day. Wow! So year to the day. So, and we have a couple of kids. Camden's 16, Kara's 19. Obviously, Camden's a junior in high school, and Kara is in college and works full time. And but for the past 5 or so years, been ministering bivocationally, and in a wonderful church in Buena Vista, which is about 55 miles from the house. And
a little bit of a drive.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a drive on Sundays and other times where you have to go up. And just a wonderful experience. Great, just great for our family. I couldn't ask for anything better for that. But like you said, as God began to stir in my heart about 1 year ago in October, we knew something different was coming down the road. Didn't know what or didn't know how. And it's just kind of like this unrest in your heart, like there's something coming. And then to finish out the year, and then obviously we began to talk more intently in the new year. And just trusted the Lord at every step as the door would open. We was like, okay, Lord, if this is you, we're just going to keep walking until you said don't walk. And so we just continue to walk, and now we're here. And what a journey it's been for the past number of months.
Sure. And many people don't know, discipleship pastor, as definition, is new to our church, and some people assume, well, does that mean just teaching classes and educating our people? And it does. It means we do have an emphasis on making disciples here in our community. People are part of discipleship groups. That puts them on mission as a response to that. But it's not at the negation of mission. It's actually, we hope that missions is us making disciples in the nations. Right. And really, it makes sense that you're a discipleship pastor both here locally and among the nations in such a way that people could look around and go, yeah, this is how I understand missions. What people are doing in other parts of the world is the same Great Commission. It's the same expectation. And so you'll navigate trip planning and commission people to go overseas and help equip those saints to be able to engage in the mission, care for our ministry partners that are there on the ground, while also consuming some of the new discipleship DNA that's kind of launched out here in our church, with the opportunity to be a resource and an encourager and a champion for discipleship. And so I know we're excited about that. Yeah. But thinking through that, what do you certainly are currently now the lead pastor at your church, and now it's transitioning into this new role and season. What are some things you're excited about getting started and doing in the ministry?
I think first and foremost, the dedication of the time. At the current moment, being bivocational, your time is very limited, and then by distance, it's also limited. So I think first and foremost, giving my time and my attention to one mission, and it's to make disciples, and to do that strategically in Roanoke Valley and then around the world. So I'm very excited about that. And then the opportunity to create new relationships with believers that are here. Having known about Rainbow Forest for a number of years, living in the Roanoke Valley, that was always a big deal. Rainbow Forest. Sure. So I'm looking forward to being into Rainbow and the forest, as they say. Yeah. And getting to know more and more, and helping people walk closer, walk more intently in their disciplines of grace, whether that be more reaching out in a group for themselves, or developing groups that are already here. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, we're excited. Good news is Lane's still going to be around, and so
that's right.
You got a great opportunity on board with a lot of help. Some people come into a job. Even myself came into a job, and Mike was like in North Carolina. So I was like, well, guess we're just going to figure this out as we go. Good news for you. Lane's still here, still serving, still going to be putting in hours each week, still certainly keeping some of the things going as you begin to acclimate yourself to both the ministry context and a little bit about the philosophy and the way we do ministry here. Yeah. And so I'm excited about that. And I think, in the first few months, both meeting members here and meeting missionaries there will be enough of your time filled that that'll be a good part of the rhythm. So I guess you talk about vocational ministry, bivocational ministry. Tell me a little bit about the areas of ministry where you've served and how the Lord's kind of equipped you for those times of service.
Sure. Going all the way back, I served with my dad for a number of years, and I really appreciated that. And that was more, I remember graduating, Dad said, hey, you're going to be, doing the worship and the youth. I'm like, I don't have a problem with the youth, but you said sing. I'm like, I wasn't trained to sing or lead worship. And so certainly going down that path, I'm not Jonathan for sure. Sure. But I enjoyed that season of life and how that brought me into the next season of youth pastor, student pastor for a number of years, and then transitioning from youth pastor to senior pastor. I don't know if anyone's ever ready for that transition. Sure. Young 30s. I thought, at that time, you had it all, knew it all, and was ready for it all. And a couple of days in, you knew that was not right, for sure. And I enjoyed those years of senior pastoring, then and then currently as well. But each step of the way, God gives you graces to develop relationships, and along the way, it seems like there were certain people that you were able to develop personally and invest in and disciple, and to look back and see that discipleship course on the different ones, whether that be students or adults through the pastoring. It's a real joy to see them continue on in their faith, in their walk with the Lord. But each and every way, I began to coin the phrase that I believe discipleship is life on life. And you don't read that necessarily in a book, but you grow to understand that as you minister with boots on the ground, so to speak, and certainly enhanced by the things that you do learn from reading, but nothing like real life experience.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, I have a history and background in discipleship, both as a discipleship pastor and doing the executive director position at a disciple making ministry. And so I know, like you're saying, when you're reading through the books, there's rhythms, there's spiritual disciplines, there's accountability, there's prayer, there's scripture memory, and all those things are wonderful.
Yeah.
But it's the moment where you engage that with other people,
right?
And then you're walking in relationship and you're praying for them as they're going to the doctor, or you're caring for them and dropping some food off, or you're going out and spending some time with them, and you get beyond just the content of the Bible in study, and you actually move into the part where you're like, okay, I got to practice these things that we're learning, the one another's of Scripture, essentially, and see the Lord work through that, even when we have disagreements or misunderstandings and things like that. And so, that life on life creates a good avenue for people to grow in the Lord, mature in the Lord. I think that's what we see. Jesus says, "Come follow me. I'll make you fishers of men." It certainly doesn't say, "Here, take and read this manual, and I'll come back and we'll check and see how good you're doing." You gotta put your life with my life, and we're going to walk through this. And so I think that's fruitful. Well, I just logistically, people were kind of wondering. So what does that mean? When am I going to see this guy? Give him the once over, make sure he's going to fit in. So you'll be with us on November 30th.
That's right.
Right, Sunday morning. So we'll hopefully pray for you and your family and introduce you to some of our congregation. You still have some work to do at your ministry location and preaching throughout maybe the portion of the rest of the year. And so there'll be some time, but you'll start in office in December. And so I know we're excited about that. We're looking forward to that. We're kind of we've sold a lot of the offices, so we're trying to clean out a broom closet for you.
That's fine with me.
And we'll find a place to put you. But and thinking through that, and there's some time when this releases to that, maybe a few weeks, what are some ways the church can be praying for you guys, or getting to know you guys, begin to care for you and pray for you and stuff like that?
Sure. Just in transition is some people love it and some people don't, and it's difficult no matter if you do or you don't. Going from one place and one thing to another place and another thing with different people. So it'll be difficult to, learn people's names and the different rhythms here. And so just be patient and those things. But with the kids coming, they're a little bit older in the teenage world. And certainly look forward to seeing their development and their relationships and seeing what that fits and what that looks like here. As well. And then obviously my wife and I just kind of getting into things, and so I guess patience and grace and just love and all the normal things that you would do for new people. And that would be us. And we may not look like we know what we're doing all at first, and we're just like, where do we go? What do we do? And so a lot of times it would just be point and click, just go stand over there and go do this over here. So certainly get an understanding of the people and the place and all those things. So I'm looking forward to that. We are, as a family, looking forward to that very, very much.
Yeah. Well, I know we've discussed this at length, and our families have met together and prayed together and talked together and looked at ways to be able to encourage you guys in the faith and take on this new role and this new identity and new thing for our church. There's a lot of guinea pig opportunities here.
Right.
But I've seen God be gracious and kind to us, and He's certainly delivered you and your family at an opportune time in which, we weren't broadcasting a job or maybe even looking at that point. And so it's great to see how God kind of wove those things together. And I know we'll continue to pray as you come on, and that their family be cared for and prayed for and minister to, as well as you guys minister to each other. So I'm excited to have you, Joel.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking time with me to sit down
Looking
behind the
forward to
bright lights and take this all in. So
Yeah.
if you want to get to know Joel a little bit more, feel free to reach out to him. I'd love to be able to put you in contact with him. Certainly be praying for his family in that transitionary state. Not only the opportunity we have to come and minister to a great, wonderful church in Rainbow Forest, but also the altering relationships that happen when a pastor leaves a church and transitions, that the Lord would raise up a shepherd there within their midst and be able to care for them, minister to them. So we're excited. Thanks for taking time to join us. We're looking forward to what the Lord will do in and through Joel.